We're going! Alright! Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Homebrew as we finish up our journey with Emery of the Taking Root Origin campaign. Tonight we are amid the Crystal Tarn, a gigantic lake that sits in the bowels of Utica, also known as the Old World. Our character has sailed down the Fulcum stream in the hopes of getting to Lemoore, journeying from Lemoore, hopefully, to the Woodlands. Now, along this path, she has most recently found that their ship, the Leeward Star, captained by Osiah, has run aground, which is strange in the Crystal Tarn, because no one's ever been able to find the bottom of it. That's how deep we're talking.
Pretty disturbing. There's no trees anywhere I can see.
Nope. It's so wide that you can't see the shore in either direction. But they're not alone. For better or worse, there's another ship that seems to be in need of help. They're flying the yellow flag that signals for parley or distress and requesting aid. The captain, also a Lemoran, decided to go out and check on them, which is as required by the code of chivalry in this land. And so has left his ship on a dinghy along with 5 others, including Emery's companion for the past toilet, Archek, to go and take a look at what's going on that ship. But not before, at first, dredging up some of the sludge that they seem to be mired in, and sampling it a little bit. And he determined, through his arts of rock magic, to be able to determine that this is, in fact, something that can decay or disease of some sort. It is not good. And he urged everyone to refrain from doing too much with it. That being said,
but when you say he used his epic magic to do that, what you really meant is that he tasted it.
Yeah, he put it in his mouth and vomited it back out. It might not be fancy, but it got the job done. Nonetheless, many of the sailors orchestrated underneath the first mate needed to use long poles to try to pry themselves back off of this stuff. Yeah. But Emery didn't feel comfortable sitting on that boat with her friend now gone off towards the Tidal Leisure, the other ship, which appeared to be some sort of brigandine ship, meaning it's some sort of mercantile, mid-sized vessel. So she herself decided to take it upon her own shoulders to unfasten the remaining dinghy and paddle herself out towards the Tidal Leisure. And along the path towards the other ship, she grew more and more panicked as she could not see anyone from where she was. But she herself found herself in trouble as a creature of some humanoid creature found its way onto her dinghy, and she had to fight it off.
A people.
A what?
You know, like a fish people?
Yeah, a people. Got it. Right. It's like a meeple.
I was picturing a mermaid, but...
a merman.
Merman.
So she fought it off, but not before being bitten a few times. She could feel something pump into the wound that it left her.
I'm sure that won't come back
flipping it off into the water. She did investigate it for a moment and found that there appeared to be some sort of trouser-like fabric embedded into the flesh of this thing on its legs. And with that, panickingly paddled her way the rest of the way to the Tidal Leisure. Emery, as you pull up towards the other dinghy, looking up towards this ship, you don't see anyone at first glance. What do you do?
I'm gonna call out again. Osiah!
you hear the wind blow across the ship, and there's a bit of a creaking to the members of the timbers. And after what seems to be a long pause, impregnated by holding your breath, you hear. You see a head dip over the side of the ship, and you see a carapace-like face with mandibles. Emery! Come on up!
Everything's alright up there?
I don't know if I would say that, per se.
There was this fish guy? It was, I don't know, it bit me.
Most unsettling. Should get out of the water then if the fish are biting.
Yeah, I start trying to find a way to climb up.
Okay, so you go over to like the net ropes, and you're like painstakingly making your way up and onto the ship.
Yeah. Do you want to do that painstakingly? Like,
I'm not gonna make you test.
Because I'll fail. I'll just keep failing.
You're bronze 2, right?
Yeah.
I will say that you can. We're not gonna get into the minutia of that.
No. Average strength.
Average person could probably get themselves up there.
Yep.
You get to the top, and looking about, you see a gnoll, 2 leonins, and an orc. 2 gnolls, 2 leonins, and an orc, along with Archek. Looking around, just kind of poking around the ship, and actually, one of them was just coming up and out of a hatch. Kind of rolls himself up and out at the orc, and he looks over. Asaya, they got more stuff down below. You might want to wipe through it. Still no sign of any of the crew, though. Looking about, there's no one else on the ship.
So, Art, can I talk to you for a second?
Of course.
So that thing that attacked me, it was like a man turned into some sort of fish. It was very scales and fins, but the oddest thing was that after I took care of him, I saw a piece of fabric coming out of its skin, as if flesh had grown over the fabric. It made me think that being wasn't naturally that way. If this crew isn't here.
You want to speak up? Osaya says, and Archek looks around, and you see, although you don't see any people on the ship, you do see that there are markings up on the surface of the ship. And Archek looks down at one pile and goes, I at first took this to be kelp. And he pokes his finger into what looks to be like some sort of dried, it almost looks like a heavy rag. And he kind of like puts one of his scythe-like scratchers into it and kind of like jimmies it up a little bit and lets it kind of flop back. And it seems to be some sort of like, I picture like seal hide. You know, like a blubbery black placenta that's more solid than that.
Alright. Is that similar to like the black goop that we were finding? Or like running into? Or
the black gloop looked more like tar.
Okay.
Whereas this looked more like something
Flesh.
that had shriveled up and started to dry a bit.
Okay.
And you see him kind of poke at it a little bit. He goes, maybe Maybe you are right. Maybe the fish people are the ones we are looking for. Scoops around. Sai goes, "You're saying the people all turned into fish and swam away?"
It's a working theory. Okay, I'm no expert in this. I don't know. It's just I got attacked. It bit me here. I kind of I look at wherever I've been bit to see. It felt a little odd.
It's angry right now. It looks like you can see like a vasculature to where you were bitten, and it hurts to touch.
I don't know if it's poison. Is Art? Do you know?
Art goes up and inspects it. Can you roll me 3 yellow dice?
Ah. Did Art? No, he slept on the boat.
Actually, sorry. You would roll 2 green dice and 1 yellow. Because this would be a medicine.
No. I rolled really well. Oh, hey. A triumph and 2 success.
Hey, I rolled really bad. So that's good. Kind of looks at it a little bit. It's certainly poison of some sort, but kind of puts his he puts his cheek up towards your arm, kind of feels it, and then puts his little antenna down on it too. It's highly volatile.
Volatile?
It's doing something, but I don't know. I'll have to prepare some. Maybe I can prepare something, but I would need to know more on it.
One thing, how long did it take me to make my little dude? Like the little critter.
Little critters you can do in an action. Oh, very quickly.
How far away is the other boat?
The other boat is probably
50 yards or less?
no.
Okay.
It's probably about a half mile,
That's fine.
quarter mile, something like that.
Okay. I was just if I could make a little dude to and take a little note to them, I was gonna have them do that, but
Gotcha.
okay, still searching, but
Yeah. One
too far,
One thing to note about that ability is you could make a fish just as well as you could do a squirrel or a bird.
Okay.
So keep in mind the utility of that ability.
Yeah. I was just I could do something like that, but if they're further than 500 yards away, between the boats, then that's the distance that I can. That the thing has to stay within range of me. So.
Yep.
Okay. So. Side.
No problem.
Okay, so he needs to look at my arm for a bit, right?
Yeah. He would need to look at your arm for a bit. But he's also not necessarily sure he could do something about it with how much information he has so far.
Okay. Is there any place left on the boat that needs to be looked at this point? I mean, sorry, I got a little nervous that things weren't going well here. I just hopped on over.
I'm gonna go check the captain's quarters. Why don't you take a look at what Cornelon's found below?
Yeah.
If there's anything interesting, you might as well. If there's anything that you can gather from it, please do so. If there's certain things you can't figure out, pass it our way. I'd love to figure it out myself.
Okay. Absolutely.
Then we can get a couple crew members over here and see if they can help push this boat off. If they can get our other one out, and then maybe we can sail around this mire.
Right. So, I start heading on down.
Okay. There's a small hatch that leads to a rather rapid. It's like a stair, but it's also like a ladder. It's like that kind of cross between,
Yeah.
You have to kind of go down facing backwards. And below is a space that is not very well lit. It's but it does have some sources of lighting. There's like a grate up top that you can see. There's been there's almost like a canvas that they use to catch the water from the grate that goes to the main deck. That has been pulled aside, so you can see light naturally coming through into this area. But there's still, so the canvas is still there. It's just there to catch like water and stuff like that. Below that, you can see a space that has been set up in a very unusual manner. It appears that someone has set up this space as a makeshift laboratory.
Okay. I do light a little torch. As a side note.
Okay. So there are you light your torch. Looking around, you can see that there are lanterns that you could light.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
So yeah, you don't necessarily have to light a torch. You could just light a lantern in that space. And looking around, you can see that there's beakers and small braziers used to make controlled fires within the ship. With also buckets of like a bucket of sand to help quench fire as well. You see that there are vials of very different of assorted liquids. There's also down here what appears to be several different there's like a small library of either notebooks or textbooks. There's scales and different tools. What appears to be some sort of metallic device with cylinders on the top and a small tray below it. Which, to you, by the way, this is all you would have never seen this sort of thing before. Any of this setup. As someone who's lived in the woods, this is above and beyond.
What is this? This piece of, hard, clear, not rock. It's glass.
Yeah, and given your intelligence, I would say that you've definitely heard of a lot of this. You could definitely have heard a lot about this stuff, but what I'm saying is that there will be an increase in difficulty, either in setback dice for your rolls on trying to understand some of the stuff that you're looking at, just because of your background, just in the same way that you gain bonuses if it was something woodsy or something along those lines.
Yeah, that's fine. That last thing that you mentioned, we'll look at that a little bit closer, whatever. You said it was a contraption. I want to make assumptions.
Yeah, so give me a investigation check or a mechanics check.
Let me actually check what I'm better at. Mechanics, I suppose. Three success, 1 advantage.
Okay. You see that there's a series of cogs or dials along the cylinders, and you're able to adjust them, and suddenly an image appears before your eyes. It's kind of hard to understand, but it's the same color as the slate of glass and the substance on it that sits on the plate below the cylinders.
Sorry, could you... I'm confused.
So, there's 2 cylinders, and there's a couple of dials on this device. Okay. The cylinders are pointed downward, and below them is a plate, and on that plate is a slab of glass.
Okay. Yep, I got it.
Gotcha.
I was like, I think I know what you're describing.
Yeah, it's a microscope. But your character figured out how to operate it. They're just not sure what they're looking at necessarily.
Do I see any herbs or plants down here?
Looking around, yes, you do.
All
As a matter of fact, there appears to be some materials hung on hung out to dry, and there seems to be a couple of glass jars that look to be sealed with some sort of cork and wax strip around the circle of the cork themselves. And those are filled with what appears to be like a ground up herb of some sort.
Okay. Something I know something about. Let me take a look at these. What do these herbs look like they're for? Do I recognize any of them? What they would be used on?
I'm gonna say, give me a knowledge nature check. I might make you make multiple checks, and might need you to rephrase your questions, because the way you would use some of these might not necessarily be the way that these people would use these necessarily.
First question is, do I recognize any of these herbs?
Correct.
How's that?
Yep.
I will slow down.
Now, are you just doing a visual check? Or are you smelling them? Are you opening some of these containers, the glass containers?
I would be first looking if I wasn't sure. Then I would smell or touch. If they're
would you taste?
Let
me know what your limit is. And
let's say not taste.
Okay. But you would smell.
But I would open containers, and I would sniff.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure, because obviously you can understand how that would pertain to the role.
Yeah, that is...
I want to know based off of visual only. It's like, well, they're ground. A lot of them are ground up. So, okay, thank you. Go ahead and give me a knowledge nature check.
All right. I got 4 success and 1 advantage.
They appeared to pick a variety of plants that grow in a variety of areas. Some of these are very rare, actually. Some of them have never grown in places, like some of them specifically because of what other people have told you about certain plants. Like, that's kind of how rare some of them are. Or you've traded for some of them and tried to plant local conservatories in your own little woods. You're like, this one came from the Jotun up in the mountains, and this one's, and so you try to cultivate some of these. So from what you can tell, you're able to make out several of the plants. But several of the other ones you're able to make out, like, you think you know what they are, but you know for sure that they're not from your hemisphere, so to speak, A couple of them seem to be medicinal. Some of them you'd never eat, or you'd never imbibe in. So the fact that they're hung up means they must be being used for other things. Some of them are pyrophoric. Some of them are reactive in some way or shape or another. So you know that they are probably used in experimental processes. You do see that amongst them, there's some of them are used as an absorbent.
Okay.
So it looks like they kind of brought, just by the sheer bulk of them, they brought enough to do anything herbs could do.
Okay. And when I'm looking at this array, am I also seeing, and here are potions or, completed products? These sound like the raw...
There are several beakers of different substances as well.
Okay.
And then amongst those two are, even though there's some beakers that appear to be in, trays, or test tubes, there are also beakers of substances with labels on them sitting on shelves as well. So it's not, you can definitely tell that there's a lot of liquid stored materials, as well as things that aren't herbs, that are dried materials or solid materials that have been stored here as well.
So wide selection, and it's also, this is like a whole operation. I'm not sure I even know what half of these things are.
Neither do I.
Um,
Looks like they're trying to figure some of it out.
Is this a merchant ship? Did they say that? Is this what merchants do? I thought they just had goods and they traded goods. I didn't think they did all this.
This isn't trading. None of this is inventoried correctly. He kind of looks around.
Right? Like, very odd.
This is set up like a workstation of some sort.
Do I see any papers around,
Yep.
notes or journal stuff?
Yep.
The stuff. Could I just peruse those? Not sit down for hours, but just kind of get a vibe.
Yeah. So there's a couple of texts along a shelf, but you go to the desk. There is a desk in here, and one thing that you do notice is that all of the furniture is pretty much bolted to the floor.
That makes sense.
Um.
Really, actually, you know what? Why not have everything hanging from the ceiling? Like a hammock style.
You know what? Sure. It's all bolted to the ceiling on pivoting. Instead of on chains, it's actually on double joints, so it'll do one of these. You know?
Yeah.
But you go to the table, and there is a journal that appears to be the note of one taxonomer Woodrow, who appears to be writing on behalf of Chettle Corp.
One moment, please.
Yeah.
Could you say those names again?
Taxonomer Woodrow and Chettle Corp.
Chettle Corp?
Chettle.
Yep.
Chettle Corp. CORP period.
Oh, okay. And wait, who's the to and who's the from?
This is a ledger, or sorry, a notebook of Taxonomer Woodrow's.
Okay.
And it's written in a very strict manner. And there's a couple pages next to it that appear to be missives, as if he's writing back to Chettle Corp.
Okay. Chettle Corp. You heard that before? Doesn't sound like anything to me.
It's prominent in the lore. As a matter of fact.
It's prominent? I kind of figured it was Corporal Chettle. You know? No?
It is a large power within Lemoore. They hold much sway.
What do they
I haven't gotten involved too much, but they sometimes work with the Asuelun, and they are a procurer of materials that are hard to find. But they do much more than that. That's their flagship.
Sorry, I have to take notes. This is stuff that needs to be written down because it won't stay in this brain.
You do notice that some of the notes that are made out towards Chettle Corp by Taxonomer Woodrow, they would be to their name is Lastiel Nairsign.
Lastiel?
Yeah, Lastiel. And they appear to be some sort of superior to Taxonomer Woodrow.
Okay. Taxonomer Like taxidermy? Is that...
A taxonomer is
Or-
someone who would be involved with like the classification of creatures as well.
Okay.
Like the taxonomy of like it's like almost like an epidemiologist, but of creatures and stuff.
Gotcha.
If I'm not mistaken.
No, that makes... What you're saying makes sense. That's fine. I just... double checking, because let's just pretend I don't have an intelligence of 4.
Yeah, no, taxonomy is the branch of science concerned with the classification of organisms and systematics. So it's someone, like, genus, phylum, class, species, order, it's all that stuff. And whatnot, so.
Okay. This is interesting. Definitely.
Like, your character would know what taxonomy is.
Yeah, so taxonomer. That's a unique venture.
You think that they came out here for this? Whatever. Do they think?
Do I see anything like in that like ledger back and forth like go here, do like about
so
this, what's it called?
not in this notebook there wouldn't be that, but there would be like how when you're doing like when you're back in biology or back in chemistry, and they have like you have to conduct this experiment. There's like purpose, scope, those sorts of things. Like you could make up some of that from that because this is more of a journal like of the work he's performing.
Yeah.
There are other materials that you could pick up and read here too. Like you said, there's some letters that he was in the middle of penning some of this stuff.
Yeah.
So there's more notes. There's more books. There's this journal, which seems to be one of several journals stacked on top of each other.
Okay.
So do you want to go through the scientific journals, his personal journal, his letters, his books? You have some
his journals, like scientific journals.
Okay.
Like whatever is the newest one,
Yeah.
Just like to the end of the book.
Okay, so if you go to the most recent ones, you see that he is attempting to first of all, they're sloppy. The last one specifically is very sloppy. It appears that he was in the middle of trying to make some sort of cure, and you see that things are just crossed out, and there's blood on the paper.
Well, this is really not boding for me very well. He's not boding well in general, but I kind of like itch at my arm again. I just he was working on some sort of cure, and there's this blood, and then it doesn't say here's the cure, it works.
This is failed. Test subject 31 dead. Crew member 22 dead. Failed. I tried again with charcoal reagent. Failed. Again, dead. I tried again with subject 19. Crew member Johnston screamed and reacted violently. That needed to be shackled down. Ended up suffocating to death on the table. Failed. As he goes through multiple attempts of apparently creating some sort of cure. Because cure, the word cure is used in some of these.
Mm-hmm.
And those are just like the last two journals would be. That's what they're going through. But there's many more.
What about, you said you had some letters sitting there? They're like, what letters on the top?
The very top one says, we have, sorry, it goes, Lasteel, I beg you, please send aid. The ship is, we are no longer able to crew the ship. My last hope is that this letter will find you, though I do not think I will make it in the time that it takes for you to get back to... And then you see that it kind of stops there for a little bit. And then there's a space, and he goes... It continues again. He goes... if you found this, the crew is all dead or gone. Whatever this creature was, it is now merely a gate to Motleti. Flee.
And I just ran up the stairs with the letter in my hand.
Okay. As you go up the stairs, so actually, yeah, no, so you run up the stairs, and up on the deck is the one of the gnolls, Gonner, along with one of the Leonins, whom you're not familiar with. Which one's which, probably at this point. I know you're super smart. There's
I was very friendly.
Felix is on the deck of the ship as well.
Also great with names. I name everything, and I will at least remember it in the moment.
Yeah, running up there, those are the two people that you immediately see.
I think we need to go. We need to go.
Relax. Felix kind of saunters towards you.
They're all dead. They said there's a creature is just a gate to Motleti. Run.
Actually, some of them might have left. It said that some of them might have left. Good. See? Some of them dead, some of them, found a way out.
Which we should do.
Okay, well, this whole ship is quite the haul. We could take the whole thing back. I'm sure there's a reward for it. And if not, there's a whole ship in it. No pain, no gain, right? He's in the Admiral's quarters.
Okay.
The captain's quarters.
He needs to, see this. I'm so sorry. Excuse me.
You rush over and open up on one of the doors, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as you rush in, so there's like swinging hammocks, and then beyond them is another door set in the back, which appears to be the captain's quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And you see that there's blood, like dried blood on the boards as you open up the door heading into this room. And in fact, there appears to be a lot of blood just like staining some of the hammocks in the space as you make your way over to the captain's quarter. But doing so, you open up the door, and there's Osaya going through the paperwork of of the captain's chambers.
Osaya, I think we need to leave. I found this.
He's kind of sifting through his stuff. He doesn't even look up. Yeah, everyone's dead. He kind of like shows you his paper, and it looks like it's just mad scribbles on it. Something that you found too, huh?
Dead or gone. Something about they were trying to find a cure for something, and whatever this creature was is now just a gate to Mortaletti.
Dannon said that Dannon's notes here say that something floated up and that Chetel Corp was hot and heavy to investigate it. Thought it could be some sort of rare species. Valuable materials to be scavenged. Did you find any of those?
Sorry. What was the creature? Did they say anything about that?
That's what they came out to figure.
Just...
The objective, apparently, was to get out here and let the scientists figure out what it was and extract anything of value. Apparently, it's got rare gems in it. I can't fathom that this is all one creature. That's where I'm stuck on. It's gotta be a quarter mile wide. Or long, I don't even know. This is which dimension we're talking about. But they had a big crew. Small amounts of supplies, because they weren't going to be out here for very long. Maybe 2 toilets. But everyone got ill. And the people who started to get ill started to develop cravings.
Cravings?
I don't know. Kind of starts getting into some nonsense here. It's hard to read. Kind of sets it aside. You're right. Whatever happened here didn't go well. Try to stay out of the water as much as possible, and we won't dredge up anything here, but this ship is valuable, the contents inside are valuable. And we owe it. They're Lemurens, just like us. I think we should see if we can get our boat unmoored, sail around, if we can, tug this one back out from the back, bring it on our way anyways.
I don't think that's worth the crew's lives, sir.
Well, this ship isn't bolted down. This one's anchored. We could cut the anchor here. Sail this one if need be.
Why don't you just try to take what you can just in these ships back, and we get back to our ship and we go.
We could. But this ship isn't even moored. Ours is stuck. It might even be quicker to abandon the leeward star and just take the tidal pleasure.
How do you know if this ship is not contaminated, sir? Art, I mean, let me think too. Is that possible? I think I'm gonna ask myself too. So, do I know if that would make sense?
That the ship is contaminated?
Yeah, if there's something on the ship itself that would be making shit like people sick, like there was the black goo and stuff.
Yeah, give me an I was gonna say investigation check, but I'm thinking more so a medicine check.
I think it's kind of a medicine check. I would agree.
That's a medicine check, in my opinion.
I agree.
And so keep in mind, so I know you just rolled.
Yep.
I'm gonna make this hard because you haven't gone around and taken samples around the ship, and that would be something that you could engage in and actively, spend time investigating, right?
Yeah, I'm just. Is it even, possible, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I did ask Art, so I don't know if I can get a boost or if you want him to...
Yeah, he can assist you gain a boost.
Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5 success for advantage.
Yeah. common cold can get passed from person to person. This stuff you're not sure. The notes seem to say, actually, you didn't go back more than 2 journals, so it's hard to tell what the point of origin was. But there's like I said, there's like weird placenta shit and like blood and stuff. There's no doubt in your mind. And plus, too, there's scientific equipment. There's not necessarily any way of saying that this is actually all caused by the creature or caused by the experiments.
Right.
So it's possible, but you don't have enough information to make an informed decision on that.
It's possible that is the case, sir. I don't know without further investigation, but I just, on my own conscience,
I need you to give me a perception check.
Why there? Okay, perception. This 1 success, 2 advantage.
Okay. You hear shouts coming from outside of the ship. Muffled from 2 doors being between you and some distance.
What was that? I think we need to go check that out.
He kind of looks at the paper. Huh?
Someone's shouting. I'll go.
I think I hear that. You can hear like shuffling and more shouting. He kind of bolts up from the table.
Yeah, I'm gonna start moving.
Okay, so you, Archek, and Osaya rush out through the crew quarters and to the main door, and coming out, you come across the the main deck. And let me just just like that.
I hear you.
Let's see here. Gotta rearrange just a little bit of this, but there on the ship are the.
Are you able? Sorry, to move just like this, literally this map down a little bit or something?
I can't move the map.
It's like I can't scroll any further up. So.
You could zoom. You know what I can do? Actually, let's go. Map of background. Let's take this. That? Does that help?
That is very helpful.
Yep. So, pushing out of the space. Where did I put Archek? Oh, he's up in this dude's business. Okay. Immediately rushing out of the door, you look over and there appears to be this pale-skinned creature hunched over in a kind of a squatting position, and it kind of looks over, and you see on its neck almost like a frog-like billow, and a fleshy salmon color. It expands from their neck and back up, and you see splotchy hair that looks like some of it has come out, and forearm fins are kind of splaying outward from a sickly emerald green colored arm, which ends it tapers into a pale fleshy color of which you can almost see through. It's not entirely opaque. And you can see somewhat of a vasculature underneath this creature's flesh as it looks over at you. and then springs into battle. Amongst you, there's also the other crew members who seem to be hard-pressed at this moment. I'll leave the captain there. I need you to roll initiative.
Yeah, baby.
And this would be either vigilance or cool.
Vigilance. Cool. I'm gonna do vigilance. I'm not feeling very cool. Wait. It's too late. I thought I rolled it. I'm such an idiot. This wouldn't be my type of wilderness or whatever.
Oh.
Oh no, what the heck?
Okay.
You'll love to hear what I rolled.
Oh, yeah?
I'm just gonna love it.
So I can just re-roll these. All right, what you got?
Nothing.
Nothing. All right. Well then.
Just 2 blanks.
Taking. There we go. Okay. Just for the sake of orientation, you burst out of there. I'm going to move some of these guys because I originally had you planted on the other side. Just makes no sense. Okay. The captain and this the creature immediately in front of you get locked into combat as these other two rush forward. Charging into you and striking with their nasty, fetid hands. Move my notes around. There we go. That will be better there. Okay, give me a melee defense check if you could.
I hate it every time you ask. That's a character. It feels so bad. It's like, don't hit me. Not ever.
One advantage.
That's great. I rolled better. 2 threat.
Okay. So you have 1 threat to be able to spend.
How do I have strain on me at this point? Oh, it's because of the boat ride over. I will deal with strain.
Okay. Archek springs into battle, and the boards underneath one of these creatures seems to wither away as he reaches out and gestures towards this creature. Can you roll me 3 yellow dice, please?
I absolutely can. Triumph, 3 success, and 2 advantage.
A triumph, 3 success, and 2 advantage?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As he reaches forward, let's see, where's that? There it is. 2 advantage. Oh, he's got triumph though. The first 2 creatures that seems to assail you, they don't pop, but they kind of just like crumble into like a water pile that kind of seeps through the boards.
That's different.
But just as he does that, another group runs forward and attacks him from behind. Oh, actually, can you roll his, he needs, 1 purple and, wait, sorry. Yeah, no, it's 1 purple these days, right? Everything lost. 1 purple and, 1 black. Oh, God, 2 advantage.
1 failure, 1 threat.
Rolling nothing here. Okay, so they swing out at him, and
Sweet.
they kind of like they appear to like not be comfortable in their own flesh or on the rocking of the ship. They don't look like their motions are that of a fluid creature, I guess. So yeah, they shoot forward, attack him. Meanwhile, another group runs forward and attacks you.
Okay. Sorry, 1 threat.
Okay. So they stick you for... Oh, he's got accurate. Darn it, that would have been helpful. They stick you for 6 damage. You said 1 threat?
Yep.
Okay. They stick you for 6 damage, and I need you to make a resilience check.
Really great. 2 success, 1 advantage.
Again, as one of them seems to bite down on your neck, you can feel it just radiate down into your shoulder blade. This just nasty feeling as your shoulder almost seems to lock up on itself.
Oh,
It is your turn.
You're gonna make me make a new character? Oh, come on, bruh. I'm gonna pop a health potion real quick. That's what I'm gonna do. Where did those health potions go? I did not read that. Holy crap. Sorry, my sheet is so tiny. Alright, so that heals me. I only have 2 damage on me now. And all of that weird mermaid bite poison stuff is totally fine because I healed my damage. And so, drinking potion's a maneuver, right?
Yes, drinking a health potion, or any potion.
So I'm gonna just poke him with my poke stick.
Jibby jabby. Jibby jabby.
Ooh!
2 fail.
I got 4 success and 1 advantage.
Oof.
I will heal another strain. And so that's 2 extra success, right? 2, 4. So that's 7 damage.
Okay. You stick into this thing and impale right through it. Your weapon seemingly having very little resistance to go through this almost fetid flesh, with like pieces of like white meat coming out on the tip on the other side. It's still alive though, as it like stumbles forward and with a wet squelch, it splats into you and kind of hangs off of you. You push it back and the spear comes out of it and it kind of falls over.
Sorry, I just... Alright, that's it for me.
Okay. Meanwhile, Archek turns over towards his other 2 assailants. And Yeah, no, he's gonna keep doing what he's doing here. Roll me 3 yellows, please.
That's what I like to hear. 5 success, 1 advantage.
Jesus. Okay. He looks over at them, and one of them just once again seems to shrivel up this time. Actually, as you see, like steam coming up off of it, and it kind of falls forward and crawls a little bit, and then like turns into a husk right where it's at.
I'm not sure I understand what's going on here.
You see him that while these things are coming at him, and basically he like looks over at it, and like you see his mandibles like move a little bit, and then you see him like almost like a locust of flies seem to come out of his mouth and fly over to them when that happens.
That's disturbing.
Yeah. But one manages to leap over its buddy and comes at Archek. Can you roll me a purple and a black?
Yes, sir. Just 1 threat.
Ooh. It gashes into Archek, and you hear him as he falls backward. As it seems that the thing reaches, like it claws into him, and then wrenches backward and pulls a part of his carapace off of his back.
Ouchie!
Yeah.
Ugh. I'm like thinking of like the nail gets pulled off. I'm like, oh, it's like.
Yeah, kind of like that.
But bigger.
But bigger. The other Boglik rushes past his buddy that you stabbed and he fell over, and he attempts to jump onto your back and claw at you. He's going to attempt to grapple you. Can you give me an athletics check?
Yep. Yep. Not as bad as my other roll. Give me advantage.
He grabs onto you and is now on your back as his buddy gets up. Meanwhile, you see everyone else struggling themselves to fight on the top. One of the Leonins seems to have cut his way through one of the assailants there, but at the same time, there's screams for help that get cut short as one of the other Leonins falls prey to one of these aquatic creatures.
I'm sorry.
Chomping. Who's a good girl?
Like I can't listen to you because our dog's just snoring.
Oh, that's so pretty. Good girl. And the captain appears to be he's at this point just stomping on the one that's in front of him, which it seems to still be moving while he is though. But it looks to be in not as bad of straits. It is over to your turn. There is a Boglik on your back grappling you at this point. Just so while you are grappled, just so you know, if you go to the cheat sheet, there's oops, that's the wrong button. Matches. That is just malarkey. Pages, please. So, I hate it when Control F doesn't work for some reason. It's like it wants to go through my table of contents that it took away from me. Need to move up to the after movement speed, attacking each other with no grapple weapons is difficult. Okay, yep. Yeah, I have it here. Yeah, grapple. If you have a melee heavy weapon, which I believe your spear is a melee heavy weapon, then it is. I believe it is two. The difficulty of attacking with it is increased by 2.
Okay. I'm gonna try. Let me think this through for a second. I'm gonna try to use like leverage or something to like try to get wiggle free, you know.
Okay, so yeah, you may either use your athletics to break free, or you may use your agility, your coordination.
I will use coordination. And Bashara is not immune to this sword.
And that is a maneuver to do, by the way.
Yep. One success.
You wiggle as you do, you're still held fast by this creature.
Okay. Think for a second. I just seeing if there's anything in my inventory that might help me with this, but we'll try to break free again.
Okay.
1 and 1.
Hey! Yeah, you flip him off of your back, and he rolls and comes to a crouch in front of you.
Alright. And then I will poke at him with my pokey stick.
Okay.
Spending 2 strain for one of my maneuvers or whatever.
Yep. Excellent. 2 threat.
Alright, 2 success, 2 advantage. So, 2, 4, that's 7 damage.
Very nice. 7. You finish off. Sorry, you the one that you. So the one that got speared before charges after you, and you quickly reach back and whack it with the end of your stick, and it falls limp to the ground as the other one runs by you, and you hold your spear out, and it once again impales up and through its jaw into its mouth, and it seems to be wiggling around and snapping at you still as you pull it out. It's still alive,
Okay.
but it is real hurt.
Okay. Okay. That's me.
Did our check? No. Okay.
That was just me, so.
Sorry. Okay. Captain finishes off the boglet he's engaged with. I'm gonna move these around. And Nolan finishes off this one. This guy finishes off him. There's still a whole clamor going on the floor as he's thrown over there. The nasty fish monster that fell before you is replaced by another one as the last creature finishes off one of the crew members and joins his wounded buddy coming in after you. I need you to roll me 3 yellow dice, please.
This can do. As long as it's for art.
Yep.
1 triumph, 3 success, and 2 advantage.
And 2 advantage?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he's at a triumph too?
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. Alright.
When I roll for not my own character, I roll great.
He's gonna pull this thing down. It runs at him, and he kind of scythes his hands forward and keeps it at bay. And it stalks back and like hesitates for a little bit, and you see him mutter something and chitter as he flutters his wings. And you see the thing slowly starts to like trip a little bit, and it scratches at itself, and like parts of it start coming off. And more of it starts just coming off and sloughing off until it starts to crumble in place. That is him. The last group of boglooks charge you. Defense, please.
Great. Really a lot to look forward to.
Or success.
Great. Yep. I have 2 failure, or not 2 failure. It's 2 threat. I have 0 failure.
You have 2 threat that you can spend.
Right.
Which, feel free to do what you want with that as you take 8 damage.
Yep.
And you need to give me
one less damage with.
I would allow you to use the advantage to not have to take another resilience check.
Sounds real good. I will do that. So I have failed twice, right? On the
3 times.
3 times? Okay. I'm just gonna. I don't know. I'm not sure how to take. It's just a mysterious mermaid, but well, you just call them boglocks. So
Yeah.
merman.
Man. All right. It is your turn. As you are engaged with these creatures, as they slash into you and bite and nip, and they catch your forearm again and scrape down it with their weird ass fang teeth.
Yeah, I really hope that is me someday.
When I grow up, I want to not be that. Not that.
Can you understand me? Hello?
Right.
Take that as a no. That's kind of make me feel better about it, though. A little more animalistic, 3 success, 1 advantage.
2 threat. Take 1 strain as you're struggling to fight them back.
That is fair. Okay. 3, 6, 8.
8 damage.
8 damage. Yep.
Nice. You finish. So you just flat outright kill the most recently engaged one, and as you kind of stick it and peel it back towards the ground, you turn around and whack the other one with the blunt end of your stick, which is just enough to hold it back long enough for your buddies to come and help. The captain runs through and hacks at its lower leg, which appeared to have already been hacked once, and he finishes cutting it off as it falls down to a stump, and then comes back with a backhand and cleaves off the back of its skull, which leaves like a fine mist into the air as the other Gnoll runs to join the other Leonin, and they end up kicking and screaming, gutting this thing and throwing up and over the other side of the ship.
All right.
The captain. Oh, what are those things? Is that the fish people? That's the fish people?
Yes.
Oh, I was hoping you were joking. Oh.
Yes. They're rather nasty.
Is everyone okay? Nintalo's dead. I think, yes, Cornelon too. Damn it! Well, at least they are too. Yeah, it slumps back and sits against the mast for a moment, kind of looking at him. He's bleeding a little bit out of his stomach. Those suckers got nasty fangs. Anyone get a look at? Kind of looks around, sees the one next to him, and just kind of kicks it one more time.
I don't know. How am I feeling? Can I take a moment to assess that since I've been bitten a few times?
You're starting to get that where the peripheries of your vision are starting to blur more. You feel hot, like it's humid hot, that your skin's kind of starting to get on fire, even though you're standing out in the breeze of the seawater.
Alright. Alright.
And one other thing that you notice, it smells so much better than it used to out here.
Man meat. No? No.
Like you've gotten accustomed to
so
the
funny.
smell of the sea or something along those lines.
Alright. Alright.
Arctic kind of hurries over. You hear his nails on the ground. Looks at it over.
I don't feel so good. It's like a fever. Are you able to take this out of me?
He kind of looks down at you. Let's go see if we can figure something out from those notes down below. I'm worried for you.
Okay.
If I could maybe figure out what it is, maybe go from there. He kind of slouches down and hurries downstairs.
Okay. I bumble on after him.
Okay. He goes, I know you don't want to leave this, but there's a chance that this might be our best bet at helping if anyone's sick. You're sick. I would hate to leave these notes. I'd hate to leave. Kind of looks around. This.
You're probably right. I think it's probably too late. I mean, if I've been bitten, the captain's been bit. This seems like it would be... We can't go around other people right now. Not until this is fixed. We may need to get out of here. Don't know.
You take the dinghy to shore? Leave them?
No, I more so mean they said we could get this boat out of here, cut off the anchor, and maybe just get out of this area. But
do you mean to leave the rest of the crew? I don't think we have enough people to sail this ship. I don't know what I'm doing. You don't know what you're doing.
I don't know.
It's just the captain and two fighters out there. They don't even know how to sail.
I don't want to make anyone else feel what I feel right now, okay? I just want to spread
looks
it.
like just don't be biting other folks. Maybe that'll help.
I'll try not to.
He kind of
I
looks.
don't feel any
Here's
cravings.
Yeah, he picks up there's a piece of his carapace that guy broke off. He goes, you can bite down on this.
Not really. It just doesn't look appetizing, right?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
A piece of his back.
Yeah. I don't really eat meat if I don't have to.
It's like when you're in lots of pain, you put a stick in your mandible.
I'd rather have a stick.
Okay.
Sure, I got one around here somewhere. I like chicken my back, see?
Funny. What do you do next? What's the thought here?
Dude, I don't know, man. Not feeling good. Does Art need to look at me? Like, can he assess whatever's going on with me?
He doesn't know. Like,
Okay.
he can try, but
That's what I'm saying. Like, how long would it take him to kind of...
it depends. he can try, and if he doesn't know what he's working with, like, he needs more information, right? So I don't have a time on that until he figures it out.
Okay.
Sias.
I was gonna go talk to the captain.
Oh.
I don't want to end up like one of these fish people, so definitely got to get out of here quick. But the other ship's stuck. We need the crew members.
Makes sense to get everyone in here. I don't know how this... It definitely spreads by bite. But I don't know if us just being around, I don't know what's going to happen. Which of us have been bitten?
Me. How about you, Gunner? Yeah, one of those vomited in my eyes. Does that count? He kind of looks over. Does that count?
Let's say that counts.
Okay.
Let's say anybody who's had contact with the mer counts as contaminated for now. But
Felix looks down his hand.
we need to get out of here. I agree. We can't leave this boat. I agree.
I'm not sick, right? They bit my finger clean off, but it's clean. It's a clean bite.
What do I think?
I mean, he's being hopeful.
No, I know, but I'm just like a different age and time. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know what how far my intelligence score gets me.
Yeah, it's he's stretching it.
Let's err on the side of caution.
Okay.
I'm just saying, if we can try to stay away from the other crew members, that's the best we can do. We know who's been contaminated. We stay on.
There's no way we can use the captain's quarters to quarantine some folks, but the last order I gave was for Boyar to have the men try to dislodge us. Who knows who's infected over there too?
Fair. Alright, well, we need this ship, I agree. All of the notes, they were looking for a cure. They were making progress on that. And they have a lot of stuff downstairs that could be...
Making progress. Sure looks like it. Looks around.
I mean, it's sort of the way science works. Sometimes lots and lots and lots of failure till you get it right.
Let's just pray to Scrot we make it out.
He looks down at his hand.
At least the blood's still normal colored.
You'll keep an eye on that too, huh?
Archak walks around and he kind of looks at folks and goes, I can see what I can do about your wounds. Maybe I can bandage them up a little bit. And he looks around and he kind of sits down. Can you give me, roll me 3 yellow dice?
Yeah. A triumph, a success, and 4 advantage.
Okay, now roll again.
Okay. That's correct. 4 success and an advantage.
And then one more time.
Can you check me too? Triumph, 2 success, and 3 advantage.
Okay.
Because I'm like wounded.
Yeah, so, let's see here.
Need a breather?
Okay, yep, so around you guys, you see that the wounds of everyone starts to knit back up. Slowly but surely. You heal 4 damage. And a couple of you feel a little bit of some of that, like you see like your eyes don't feel quite as bloodshot as they were. As he sits there humming, and you see the bodies of the boglooks on the ship evaporate away as he works, humming to himself as his wings flap in a vibration. He hums.
That feels better, Art, I'll be honest.
But looking at him, you can see the toll that took on him. And he kind of does one of these ones here. And kind of like breaks his trance and puts one of his arms down. Did that help?
Yes.
Not just the trauma, but kind of looks at your eyes a little bit. You see it, like it's hard to tell what he's looking at with his big beady,
Right.
multi-membranous eyes. Seems to have recessed a little.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be efficient at it. I'll need something to help transfer milk. Do we have livestock? Osai speaks up. No, we don't have livestock, but need be we can catch fish. There's some avian around. Now looks up seagulls. What about supplies, food stock, anything like that? It's worth a try, but I need to lie down. All right.
Thank you, Arch.
Art kind of curls up there. You are better, but you're not cured.
Yeah. I got it.
As he curls up and sits on the deck.
So, should we send the dinghies back and try to bring folks and supplies?
Goner, Felix, go check the status of the other ship. If they can get off in the next few hours, maybe we split the crew. Let's get 8 crewmen back over here. You two stay with us afterward. Tell the rest of the ship to sail around. Drop an anchor. Drop an anchor off of a small line, and see if we can maintain our depths and go around this thing with the leeward star. The other crewmen will come over here and we'll turn around and we'll meet up back at Lemoore. Try to get offloaded there at the docks. But I need at least 6 more sailors to get this ship going. And looks over at you. Fair?
Fair.
And I want statuses of all of the crewmen there. Tell them what we found here. They need to monitor their health. This is gonna get dicey, and we run the risk if a few of us run ill, we might not have enough hands to operate either of the ships. One of them can end up floundering behind.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the case, we'll hop on the dinghy and go to shore from there and do what we can. But Emery,
Yes.
go down below and see what more information you can find on this. We gotta figure it out.
Yeah.
Or at least get a head start, so when we get back, we can pass that information on to whoever can help us from there.
Alright.
I see him just having a hard time keeping his breath.
Yeah. Me too. So I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna try to read the earlier journals. Try to find them starting here. Trying to find skimming for the start of the sickness, right?
The scientific journals or the
Scientific.
Okay. So the first couple appeared to be on they're running studies on trying to map out this creature and get an outline on it.
Okay.
They find that with their divers, they find that they are able to figure out a circumference of it as well. It doesn't appear to go the entire breadth of the lake, so it can be sailed around. They get that it's approximately a quarter mile across, so to speak. Its tail, however, dips down below the depth that their divers can go. It slumps, so to speak. But the torso of it appears to be at least 2 miles long. It has 2 fins on the sides and has what appears to be a walrus-like face. There are densitometry tests to figure out how hard it is. This thing was really hard and apparently rapidly started to lose density. It had a series of whiskers on the front of its face that almost came off as like a bristle brush. That, like I was saying before, large gemstones were to be found throughout this. Further notes are on decomp. As this thing lost density, material started to shift and like almost exfoliate out of it, so to speak. There's reference to a rupture of some sort, and attempts to identify the gas.
Okay.
So far, it appears that when heated to an appropriate temperature, the stuff becomes inert.
Okay. Like how hot of a temperature we talk?
Like boiled, pretty much.
Okay.
But that it still causes illness, but it doesn't cause disease
Okay.
if consumed. And you also see in this room there are test animals. There are a bunch of dead test animals in cages, and there are birds in cages that are still alive, and small mammals in some of these other cages.
I'll go look at them. They're looking. How they doing? They hungry?
Yeah. The birds are famished. They're malnourished at this point.
Heck yeah, I give them some corn. I've got some corn.
Nice. Okay. Very well. Yeah, you start feeding some of these birds. A couple of the birds are kept separate from the others that appear to be better fed, but still malnourished, as it's probably been some time. Which you could probably figure that out too by looking at more logs.
Yeah. I feel a little bad that they're in the cages. Like, I'm like tempted to let them loose, but I'm also like, we don't know what's going on here. We'll keep reading for now. They've got food. Doesn't feel right they're in a cage, but I don't know if they're sick. So.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, I will keep reading.
Okay. Sorry, actually, the healthier birds would have been in the captain's quarters.
Oh, okay. I guess I feed...
Which you also would have seen.
Well, I feed the ones that are with me.
Yep. Okay.
I don't, go over to a different place to just feed the birds. Maybe later, but
So are you continuing to read scientific journals, or are you going to start reading more like on like Monroe's journals? Sir Woodrow's journals?
How far through like the scientific journals am I?
2/3, and you touched the back end.
Okay, that's the front. Like I want to get to the point in like the scientific journals where people start getting sick.
That would have been around the time that, yeah, you would have started to hit that shortly after the rupture started being referenced. Before that, there was references to, like I said, densitometry tests and identification of geological findings as well, which, as you could probably see, is not this person's particular point of study. So there's other textbooks that have been dragged out, and you can see that are nearby the desk or have bookmarks or so to speak in them. By their take, this is some sort of egg-laying marsupial of some sort, but definitely nothing that's been even spotted before. They're suspicious that the whatever caused it to rise to the surface is what's causing the decomp.
Interesting. All right. So I didn't get to a point. So people started getting sick sometime after the rupture.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I'll switch over to his journals at this point. Try to find something around the
Because
same date.
the scientific journals are like, this is my point of study.
Yeah.
Like proposed hypothesis
No.
moving forward. Most of the illness-related scientific journals are way later, as you had found.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. So there's still some stuff that you haven't covered, like in the scientific journals, but at least you're able to go backwards to figure that out.
No, but I'm just like I've pinpointed a time frame. Is more what I'm thinking.
Gotcha,
So like,
yeah. So it's probably about the last 20% of the journals are studies on illness.
yeah. So I'm just saying like when I was reading the journals and it started talking about like that sickness, then I'm gonna look at his personal journals around that same time since they both be like dated.
Okay. Yep. So it looks like you open up his personal journals. What page do you go to? It's the point of the scientific journals
After
were
roughly
when
the
illness started.
like the rupture thing, because you said that was when people started getting
So
sick.
we'll start with the rupture. They noticed a giant pearl moving up out of the flesh of this thing. And they were getting really excited about it when it exploded. And it wasn't a pearl, it was a gas bubble. And many people got fumigated by the rupture. And that's when they started to notice a significant decline in health. There's notes that later on, as you like scamper through the pages, you see that there's some spots that are italicized, like were folks getting unhealthy beforehand or after? But that was like a profound changing moment for folks. That's when they actually started to restart studying this.
Okay. Yep.
So they're going through that rapid decline in health of many parties. There wasn't someone on board who is a doctor, but they did do some studies on and were able to identify that this was a virulent strain. There's some sort of bacteria, there's something what he would say is living in them, because they weren't able to get the toxicity to ebb. It was increasing over time. So they're understanding. They don't know what like microbes are or anything like that, but they do know that like if you get a poison in your system, either it's going to kill you or it's going to start getting better slowly, right? Or it's going to manifest into symptoms that are the symptoms of the problem, not the original poison.
Right.
It's like
something's growing.
Developing.
Right.
Yeah, it's getting worse, and we're not ingesting them, right?
Yeah.
There's suspicions that the local sea life and the local scavengers have been feeding off of this as well. The more ill folks got, the more they started to long for the water. Very similar to being stricken with disease of salt water, but it was for the scent that this particularly pungent thing is letting off. They caught people eating the sludge.
Huh.
Yeah.
It smelled better the last time I went up. It's not a good sign. Alright. Anything more?
Always more if we want to read more, but at this point, I would say another 2 hours, 2.5 to 3 hours have gone by as you're flipping through this and you're reading through these different logs, which most of the penmanship here is very, very well done, and it's like this person was very militant in their work.
So I want to go back up to find Captain. The Captain.
Okay. Going around, Osaya is in the captain's quarters, sifting through more of the documentation there as well.
Hello. I was just going to give you an update if now's a good time. If it's not a good time,
No, please, anything that you can give us.
Okay. And then I just, rather than say everything that you just said, I give a brief summary of that.
Okay. So we need to monitor, make sure that no one's starting to crave this substance.
Yes.
We need to make sure our food supplies and our water supplies are not contaminated.
Yes.
First and foremost, we can assume the food supplies here is either contaminated or it's all gone. I haven't done a thorough search of their supplies, which means it looks. Well, we got about 3 days. We can go without food. And water's going to be a bit tough.
Right.
Normally we'd be using this. There's a chance that if we get further away from this, that we can use the fresh water from the tarn itself. Did you say that when heated up, this stuff is rendered inert?
I think that was at least either the gas or the contaminant. Yes, that's what it sounded like. We boil it goes away.
We boil the tarn water, then we can drink that. We have options.
It's prudent.
I wouldn't trust it this close.
No.
So hopefully you can handle a little bit of dehydration as we wait, as we try to get out of here. And he starts getting up, and you see that he's actually starting to like assess the ship itself and the sails and the condition of the boat.
Was there anything else in the other notes that you were reading?
One moment.
I'm just making you tell me all the things.
Right.
Can't help it.
Captain Danenrolski put in that they left, looks like, just over a twillet ago to come out this way. So they haven't been out long. But, Jesus. 18 days.
It's a quick turn if those Oh, really? The crewmen.
To imagine that, like, it's just your teeth. He kind of looks down at one of them, and you see that it looks like the 3 teeth that are on the top.
Mm-hmm.
It's like their teeth had been pushed together and almost like coralized into like 3 mounds of teeth. Almost like they're like the gums conveyed and pushed and smushed them in, and you can see that that's why they're so jagged. And you actually see that chunks of the tooth has been rotated so that way the roots are what's sticking out as it's calcified in place. So that's why they're so jagged, those 3 fangs. And they have vasculature on the towards the tips of the roots on the 3 teeth.
Your gums hurt at all? I'm starting to think.
I
I'm not feeling my teeth, right?
It hurt just looking at it. It said, he goes, Rolski's neck split open. He said he wants you to start feeling the goiter. That's, hopefully we don't start developing goiters.
Are the other men back yet?
Kind of looks over. I'll be here in 10 minutes.
Right.
It looks like they made short work of starting the process of getting them over here.
But I do think you're right. Maybe we need to remove what we can, decontaminate what we can. There was black sludge all around, right? Or there was gore.
More like blood streaks.
Okay, I thought
it's
there
like
was,
dried
I
blood.
thought you said there was rub
Yeah, there is some areas that look like, pools
Flesh.
about this big of almost dried, spongy material.
Okay.
Kind of just goes, you're really gonna start scraping it up and touching it?
I don't know. That's a good question.
We have a full
What
day
if
on this
I-
ship.
If I make something that is not living, that could.
I don't follow.
I've got it. Don't worry about a thing. Just if you see a little woody creature running around, just don't mind him. He's a friend.
Okay. All right, I gotta go make sure that everything else. I noticed that one dinghy's already missing, but aside from that, it looks like they didn't even try to get out of here.
He kind of starts going through and checking the ship for soundness.
I'm gonna try to make a little friendo.
Okay. Do you have any supplies?
I do,
If not, you can forage for
Otherwise,
supplies
but
on
I-
the ship.
but I would prefer to forage for supplies on the ship.
Yeah, there's plenty of stuff, like nets and
I
timbers and
have
boards
hidden
and stuff.
storage, so I can just do a simple survival check.
Yep, so you can do a survival check, and then from there you can do hidden storage. If I tell you hidden storage is best for if I say there's no more supplies, then you can be hidden storage. Do
Okay.
more, so to speak. So, okay. Yeah, so there's plenty of supplies around here. There's nets and stuff. You're pillaging the ship and taking parts of the ship, or crates, boxes, things like that. You're breaking up pieces of kindling and putting them together, but you need organic material, so cloth and fabric and rope and wood that you kind of start piecing together. And then as you assemble all of that, tell me what you do.
Trying to think of what type of creature would be best for grabbing stuff. My first thought was pelican, and I'm I don't feel like an asshole.
A pelican?
It's
Oh! Oh, man.
it's terrible.
At least, a duck would have a flat bill for scraping.
I was thinking the bottom, get it in the bag.
Some of the stuff is, dried onto the boards, though.
Yeah. is it that I'm trying to think of like something that would like be able to like chip away at stuff, you know, like
Duck-billed platypus.
all right, we'll go platypus.
Yeah, girl. What's the difficulty on that check?
Let's see. So that's just my summon critter one, my little guy, right?
Yeah. I would allow it. It's going to take longer for the little guy to be working on this stuff. But your choice. You're going to
How
need...
long is like my ritual cast take? Like an hour?
It'll take an hour and then some time to gather supplies. Because that's going to be a little more like deconstructing boxes and stuff like that to get the supplies that you need for that.
Yeah, I'll just do the little guy.
Okay.
Um,
You could also do multiple little guys. Right?
You could.
Because you could do... It's a concentration spell, right?
yeah.
So you could cast it once, and then while concentrating for a maneuver, you could cast it a second
Actually,
time.
it doesn't
and then
say
each turn
that
you
it
could
is.
maneuver. Oh, then I'm going to say just once then. If it's...
Yeah, okay,
recast, a recast would dispel the original.
That makes sense. Yep. Okay. Yep. It does not. Sorry, the spell below it said concentrate.
Gotcha.
So I was like, yeah.
Okay. So,
But-
difficulty easy?
Average. Got 1 success for advantage.
You fail with enough advantage that you could effectively cancel out the strain from trying it the original time.
Okay.
So you may repeat an attempt. I would so just for your knowledge, it'll either make more time go by, or I'm going to increase the difficulty by adding a setback die from you trying with this material already, so to speak.
Yeah, no, that's
Just
fine.
from just to keep from like over spamming of a test that you failed, so to speak.
Yeah, time passes. I tried and I failed. I'm feeling a little under the weather still, so I'm a little out of it.
Check to try
And
again.
then I try again. So I got 3 success, 2 advantage this time.
Okay, your advantage is canceled out, but yeah, tell me how this thing comes to life as more crew members are now boarding up the ship. A couple of them are tired. Some of them got like that black shit on their skin, but they start going over to the boss, and he starts telling them what to do and briefing them as you're working on this.
Okay. So, I have not ever... So the reason it was so hard is I'd heard of platypus, but I don't think I've actually met one before. So it took me a bit of time to get into the right mindset, scour the brain, get like the right shaped bill and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So then I perfectly constructed. I've got some nice, like flexible, canvas, you know, but like good ridges to make a perfect little bill. And he's even got his little whip tootsies. And then I focus and concentrate, and the magic kind of, brings him to life, so to speak. And all of a sudden, it looks more like there's like that smooth, like otter-like fur, you know, where it's like very clearly like it's almost sleek.
Still made of like leaves and
Yes.
grass. I would say it's like a grass instead of a fur, right? At this point,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Yeah.
Beautiful. It like sprouts off of the wood and the cloth that you put on originally.
Shiny and
Yep. Sleek.
sleek.
Nice. Okay, so you have your otter. People are set about working on the ship.
Hey, Flips. You wouldn't mind helping me clean up, would you? Just clean up. Clean up. Everybody do your share.
Kind of looks around, and knowing your will, you don't need to try to convince him. He knows your intentions. So he goes off and starts to shovel up. Trash! I love trash! Trash! And starts gobbling up the black stuff and like dropping it off and like going back and cleaning up more of it. You had to make a garbage goober, didn't you?
I did, yes. It was hard not to once I thought of it.
We're gonna take a 6-minute break as actually give me a resilience check.
trash. Alright. 4 success!
Okay. Take 2 strain.
Well.
As you know, you've been working really hard. To the point, yeah, I mean, you're starting to feel it, so to speak. You took the 2 strain for your check, your magic check, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can concentrate on. Sorry, you can go about your day as he's doing that, and the ship prepares to sail. You can hear in the background that the other ship is almost free, and they should be meeting up after sailing around. You having given Osaya the information that there's, you had a perimeter around this thing. That was in fact possible. And yeah, we'll kick back here at, let's go 7:45. See how far we can get tonight for this session. Cool. Thank you guys.
Right. And we're back.
Alrighty. You find yourself once again setting sail. This time with a little bit more kick in your step as you make your way toward Lemoore. As the hours...
I feel like less kick in my step. than
Well,
when I...
more of a hurried pace. Right?
Alright.
As time passes on, and the hours progress, I need you to give me another resilience check, please.
Come on. 2 and 1.
Your body seems to be fighting what is going on in you as it turns into the evening. Is there anything you want to do before crashing for the night?
How's my garbage goober doing?
He's busy at work. Does he have a time on him?
An hour.
No. Yeah, actually, he's gone then.
I would make
he's
another
gone back
one
to bed.
once he's gone to bed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so give me.
It's depending on how clean the ship is.
It would take 3 hours of him. Actually, it would take 3 hours of him working before you even bother to check in on him, so to speak. So I'm gonna need you to do 2 more magic checks.
Okay.
You still have both of your story points.
Yep. I'm going to do my that's it. The one that makes it free for 1 spell.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I can't find it, but alright, that is 4 success, 3 advantage.
Yeah.
And can I use strain in magic tests to heal, or advantage to heal strain? Magic tests?
Yeah, but I would say you should make it 2 for 1.
Okay. I don't have the, I can look up the...
You can heal 1 strain from that one,
Okay.
but it costs you 2 to do.
Yeah, where's the thing that says I get 1 spell free?
It's a talent.
No, I know, I got it. I just... Is it prepared spell?
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, and then I got 5 flat success.
Okay. As you make the second guy, so your third platypus, reinvigorating him, right?
Yeah, I don't have to bring like the same tired soul back every time, unless he wants to come back. Ooh, he loves trash. He's not a doctor.
Right.
He's just a platypus.
Not a doctor. It's quite taxing on you. This time you suffer 5 extra strain.
And I pass out.
The day catches up with you. And as you settle down and your garbage goobers go to work, you see Archek slowly rouse a bit.
No.
You fall asleep. And you have terrible nightmares at first. But like a lighthouse in a storm, you find your brother. And he is he's standing at a pond with a waterfall, and he's just cleaned his hair. And he's kind of running his hands through it.
Brother, I found you. Did Art do his thing to find my brother, or...
You don't know.
Okay.
You're asleep.
No, I just... yeah. You said he rose, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah. What?
Oh, I thought you were finishing your mouthful after I said hello to him. So.
Em, how's it going?
I've had better days. I'm not feeling so good.
Those Broughton folks treat you poorly? I'm sorry, sis. I know how it is with outsiders. Especially with the orcs.
The orcs.
He's just talking about in general.
Yeah. It was the on the waters this time was the problem. That's all.
Up the Fulcrum Stream?
Away up the stream, yeah. I've actually been to the what's the water place called that I'm in?
Crystal Tarn.
Crystal Tarn, thank you.
Wow! No way! You've been all the way down to the Crystal Tarn?
Mm-hmm.
Well, how did you get... No wonder you've been gone for so long. What's it like? Can you really see rainbows through it?
Could I see rainbows through?
It's definitely very pretty. And for a while, there was a point where you saw the mountain range of the Highlands peeking out the other side. Like gigantic monoliths. Made... I mean, you got close enough that they felt imposing. But even then, you couldn't make out anything on their edifice. Any, like...
Yeah.
Science of humanity or anything.
It was the largest body of water I've ever seen. There were no... You couldn't see land in any direction. It was so large.
Oh.
And
Man.
there was these massive mountains. I wish you could have seen it.
He kind of furrows his eyebrow there for a moment and goes,
Sister. We go every... I don't... Why didn't you take me? I could have gone. I'm not busy.
kind of looks around.
I'm working on being able to take you next time.
Is it...
So many name drops.
Was it Iridrin? I know I'm not very as responsible as you, but I've been working on it. I've been turning
doing
all my
just fine.
chores. Oh, Willow hasn't even had to chase me out of her patch for screwing up her veggies again.
Yeah, I remember that.
I'd love to see the world.
I would love to take you. I'm working on that. I miss you.
I miss you. Where's Iridrin?
Not here.
For that matter, where's old Willow?
You haven't seen them around here?
Kind of looks over and
No, I just... We should go home. I'm sorry. I've got that Emmendaja just kind of sitting on my chest.
I don't think we can go home.
I want to go home.
We can just... This is gonna have to be home.
We gotta be close. I mean, the springs are right here. It should just be around the...
Hey,
Around the...
just look at me, okay? Remember, where are each other's homes? Yeah?
Yes.
We just
Kinda
have each other.
splays his hand out for yours.
Mhm.
Kind of curl your hand into a shake there. Or into a grasp. I'm going to play different music. Just realized I was like, oh, this is still intense.
Yeah.
You guys, clasp hands. He lets his heart go back to a steady beat. Zashara makes her 15th circle on her bed.
Mm-hmm.
She finally slumbers once more. What's weird is as you calm, your eyes start to open once more. And give me another resilience check.
One success, 2 advantage.
And they almost feel like they've got some sort of crust to them forming. And you open them a bit, and there's a fog to them. You see briefly a silhouette of a person. You see a little bit of daylight coming through. The world sways underneath of you.
Mm-hmm.
And as it does, it rocks you back to the hammocks of the Nintunga tribe that you grew up in. And you see trees blowing in the wind above you. And you dream of home once more.
Is my brother with me?
Looking up, you don't see him at first, but as you search for him, where do you look?
The other hammock.
Where do you expect to find him? You look over, and there's no hammock next to you, but then you feel a nut pong off of your head. And you look up, and about 15 feet up is another hammock. You see your brother there, kind of legs crossed, arms up, and he kind of looks down below.
That's a rude way to wake
He's
someone
got like
up.
chestnuts sitting on his chest. He's
Yeah.
He goes, "You don't hurry up, Eridrin's gonna be mad. You slept way past your curfew, and the kids need lessons."
Why didn't you throw nuts at me sooner then?
Well, it wasn't my job to... Well, actually, quite frankly, it was my job to wake you up, and I was supposed to do it a long time ago. But fact of the matter is that it makes me look better by comparison.
Oh, that's how you're gonna play this one, huh? Of
Well,
course it is.
You look like you needed your sleep. You're not looking good, sister. As you throw it back.
So, how do I feel, by the way?
Give me another resilience check.
Not sure if dream state memory feels the same, but 2 success, 1 advantage.
You notice a bit of a wheeze in your chest.
It's getting harder to breathe here.
I love that song. But maybe old Willow can whip you up some of her tea. If you're really feeling that way, sis. You know what? I'll take care of it. You go take care of the kids.
Yeah.
I'll go see if I can get you something to soothe that chest of yours, alright?
Okay. And I actually start going that way.
Okay. He scritches Walnut as he climbs down out of the tree.
Oh,
And,
you're here again. How's the family? I say to Walnut.
Give me a charm check. Actually, animal husbandry. Forgot we even had that check.
Okay, I do have the spell that is commune with animals, but it just doesn't. It just says it's passive, basically. I think it doesn't say anything. It's blank. It just says commune with animals.
Oh, I don't have the check for that. Okay. Yeah, give me, if that's one of your magic spells, you can give me your, you can either do animal husbandry here and it'll be harder, or you can give me your magic check and it'll be easier.
That one.
Okay.
2 and 2.
Okay. You kind of sit there for a moment and tell me how you cast stuff.
I boop him on the nose. Just a nice little boop. And then I tilt my head and then I just speak like basically like chirping, right? Like I know what I'm saying, but the outside ear it just sounds like squeaking.
Okay. And as you do this, you feel your tongue like almost change shape in your mouth and kind of reform like almost like a sound in your throat. And you speak to him, and it seems to resonate inside of you as he goes. To be honest, I was getting curious on how my kids are doing, but I haven't seen them.
Sorry to hear that. I thought they all came to visit recently. I wasn't here, but that's what brothers said. Sorry.
What's that? Fairy! And he like hops up off of his branch and runs over and grabs the fairy off the ground.
You have a lovely day. And I
What's
start to try to get to Willow and the kids.
Okay.
Or not Willow, sorry. Idrin or Idrin, right?
Say hi to Chirrup!
Will do. Just like
Turns around.
greeting wildlife left
Yeah.
and right. Like
The sun is shining in the sky. There ain't a cloud inside. You like look up and like the clouds actually part when you start thinking about that.
yeah.
Okay. And as you start heading back, you slowly rouse to consciousness, and you feel something kind of sharp but not painful, like slide across your forehead, and you feel like your hair just kind of slide off of your face a bit. And Archek appears to be there, sitting on a stool. Your head is... You're still in a hammock. You have a blanket over you. But your head is rocked slightly off of the hammock and in his lap.
Oh, I feel terrible.
You're shivering. You feel brittle. And you, like, when you move, you can feel, like, the aftershock of your movement in other areas, almost like you have a corpuscular wiggle. And looking up at Archek, he doesn't seem to be doing very well off. He kind of goes, please, you need it. Your brother's doing good, right?
Seemed good. Yes.
I'll save you. I will save your brother. You see him? He's kind of like doing like a head nod at the same time.
Alright. Thank you.
Mm.
I know you're trying your best, and you did what you thought was the right thing. I thank you. I mean it.
Yeah, alright. Thank you. You see him like he's got tension that comes out of his shoulders as he is able to slump in relief a little bit.
How far to your friends? We'll be there in no time, right?
We're docking soon. Hopefully that'll help, but it's still a journey. It's a walk. Many of the crew won't be able to make it. But some still. I'm sorry, I'll need to focus on keeping you safe for a bit. But I'll be able to bring you to your brother soon again.
Rest. Art.
It'll be harder the later we try.
Try what? Oh.
To keep it staved from your veins. Can you walk?
I'll try to get up.
Give me an athletics check.
Did I recover my strain or not? My 13. I was fully up. So I just...
We'll do that in just a moment.
Okay. 2 success. 1 advantage.
Okay. And now I will say that you are able to recover your strain while you slept, up to half.
Okay.
So rounded always in the hero's favor.
Thank you.
So you're able to stand up on shaky legs. Good. That way I don't have to carry you.
Like look for like a blanket to wrap around, you know.
You hear a horn on the top of the deck. Signs of land.
Okay.
Ahead.
Be good to get solid ground under me again. I feel woozy. How's it smell?
You feel like you feel like that snot flutter when you go to do that, and you don't. That smell is no longer in the air, but you feel a hunger in you that hasn't been there before. Your stomach.
I look down at my corn, like, would this help? You know? Or does it look appetizing?
It's getting old at this point.
Yeah.
Our check has apparently tried to help give you small amounts of water. He tells you it's been a whole full another day since it's like evening now. And you haven't eaten yet. So yeah, you the corn is getting on the later spectrum, but corn keeps pretty okay. So it's not completely gone yet.
Yeah. Okay. Does that help me feel, help my hunger?
It helps. It helps a little bit. There's still something there though.
Feel a little bit stronger at least.
You still feel the heaving in your chest. Not quite getting fresh air.
Yeah. It's so hard to breathe. How do my teeth feel?
Your gums are sore.
Do I feel any good?
No. But you do, as you feel around on your neck, it does feel swollen a bit and tender.
Are you all right, Art? Do you feel anything like this?
I took care of it as quickly as possible. I couldn't help anyone else if I was compromised. I feel selfish.
It's okay.
let's get you up top. And he like gathers up your stuff. He puts your backpack over his shoulder and tries to give you an arm to get up and out of the ship.
I hobble that way.
Asaya is there with some of the other crew members. And several folks are looking okay. And you see he's talking to several of his folks. Boyar, I need you to go. I'll stay back and wait for the other... he goes, I'll stay back, tend the ships. Someone's gotta stay, but someone's gotta go get help. I'll trust that with you. Take Goner and Felix. So he goes, take Goner if you can. And whatever able-body thinks that they can make the two-day trip. I'll stay with the bedridden, see what we can do. Boyar nods his head in acknowledgement.
Anyone else get sick? Or just
He kind of looks at
us?
Boyar looks at his boss. You stay away from those that are getting too close to the end. Make sure that something changes in their disposition. You keep it from spreading to you, okay, boss? Of course. Someone's got to do... I said the captain's got to do what always has to be done. Hurry. He kind of stands up and looks at you. And Archek. Yeah. Some folks didn't make it. They're already... Well, he goes... He doesn't say some folks didn't make it. He goes, some folks are losing it a bit. They're sick, but we still managed to keep rousing folks. No one's past the point yet. And many of us are still able bodies on the ship. So I reckon there'll be about 10 or so of you that can actually get back to Lemoore and seek aid. But I don't want to tax people too much here. There's a chance that you get them to Lemoore just to have them sit in a waiting room, so to speak, and take a turn for the worst. So might as well keep them here, save their strength.
Right.
How about you? You guys staying?
We should. I can go. I can make it.
Let's go.
Yeah. We have important things to tend to. Can't wait.
Sure, you look like you got the worst of it.
I'm fine.
Okay.
I don't smell that creature anymore.
Thanks for your help on the ship. You know, for what it's worth, kind of digs around, pulls out so he leaves and comes back. It's got a small pouch and he passes it off to you. Yes. It's not nearly as much as what the stuff on these ships are worth, but you know, you did your part in pulling in this haul, and that wasn't part of the original plan, so hopefully that helps. And in the bag is 435 silver and 3 gold.
Wow. That was out of character. Wow. That's pretty neat. How neat is that?
It's like so neat.
No, Ashara. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, and I'm sorry for what happened. Looks like we had Eve's own luck involved on this.
No one's fault.
But I'll pray to Uldrian that she leads you to peace.
Right. Sure. Thank you.
Farewell. Safe journey.
You too. You just got
I think I just crashed out of Discord.
Yeah.
With that, let's see here. How do I just...
Hey, sweetie.
Okay.
Here he is.
With that, you make your way onto land and begin your journey the remainder of the way to Lemoine.
Right.
It's hard, and your sickness progresses.
Yeah, I don't feel so good.
And Archek does what he can for you, but also for your brother.
Poor Archie.
I need... Huh?
Poor Artie.
Yeah. I need you to give me another athletics check as your condition gets worse.
You said athletic.
Yes.
Alright, dog. 1 and 1.
Eventually, your legs falter underneath of you. And Archek dutifully makes a gurney and manages to pull you along.
Oh yeah, I grab him as he does that. Alright? Yeah, I need a little moment. Alright, one moment. I have an important question. If I don't make it, will I be with my brother?
In time,
Okay.
your spirits will find each other.
Right. Okay. And then I kind of relax back into that.
And whether it's comforting or not is your character's choice, but soon after you do find your brother again.
Right.
And the next thing that you see, you hear a rumble that rouses you from one of your tightly held moments with your brother, almost like thunder. And what you see before you is a walled city made of wrought iron and polished steel, and from it sprouts plumes of smoke. Before you, along the route there, you see thick forests standing amongst jagged hills. And amongst those hills and the roads that lead towards this complex are other signs, other walks of life. You even see a few more Archeks amongst them. Tekeknu, Rattan, humans and orcs, dwarves and goblins. As you get pulled through the streets, eventually you feel a tung 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 as you're pulled along boards that make a deck of the surface of the ground, and it wakes you up.
Oh, where are we at the moor? What's this?
Yes, we found it. I will allow you to spend a story point to improve your condition, like one significant level.
Yeah.
So you can have lucidity and your own faculties,
All right.
if you would like.
That is a very, very kind of you.
So we'll say that
How kind,
you're to the point where the rest that Archek has been able to give you has managed to fight this stuff back. You're refreshed in soul from your ability to hang out with your brother. You feel like you can stand and move on your own. However, you still feel like you're sick, right? So we'll say that you get a setback die on everything you tried. You are sitting now at only a quarter of your strength down. And you are still sick.
3.
And I needed to go.
I need to just like highlight that really quick.
Yep.
So that I don't forget. Okay. So I am semi-lucid.
Yep. And what would you like to do as Archek is pulling you along?
I feel a bit better, Art. Is there... What's the next step? Are we... Do they have somebody here who could heal this?
I don't know. You kind of... Are you still on the gurney?
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Unless I'm able to get up. Fairly...
You're able to get up.
Okay.
Rolling to your feet off of the gurney, you notice Archek kind of stumble and catch himself.
You've done
And
more
push
than enough,
the gurney
Art.
to
Take
the
a
side.
break.
He sits down, braces himself against some sort of structure in this huge compound. And you can see now that while there's all walks of life, there appear to be some that are just frightening. And the noise in this place. Oh my god, the noise in this place. Screeching of metal and like whirring of large cogs clicking into place. Dun-dun. And there's music of discordant melodies, and you see people walking by, and one of them has crab-like metallic legs in replace of... And you look up, and it's an orc, but with some weird contraption stitched into his body, like a prosthetic or something. There's Tekechnu with phosphorescent tattoos in their carapace, down one level, in what appears to be some sort of muddy area about 12 feet below the wooden planks that you are on. And above, the whirring machinery here are as tall as any tree in the gnarlwood.
This is a strange place.
But not one... He goes, it is a dangerous place too, but not one where we... without allies.
Right.
I have a friend in contact, Wallaby. I got information he's a few streets down. We'll find Wallaby. He'll know what to do.
Okay.
He's our hope. May Leanne and Shay guide us.
If we get there, can you rest, please? I'm worried about you.
You can rest. It has been 2 more days, by the way.
Okay.
3 days since you set sail. Total. Do you want to take him somewhere to sleep for the night? Or are you going to try to find Wallaby?
Yeah, hoping that Wallaby. I was asking if Wallabies was like if we could rest at Wallabies. If that, like if it's like he's going to his house,
Gotcha.
or
Okay.
if he's like,
He kind of looks up. I guess we'll find out. And that is where we will end the story of Emery's origin. For what comes next is merely the beginning of the Call of the Hunger.
ooh.
And we will pick up June 13th with Austin and Dustin on our sides. And we'll figure out how just they play into this as the story gets a little bit more complex.
Let's hope Emery gets to make some new friends here soon.
Yeah, hopefully. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this duet. Hopefully you guys maybe learned something. D&D, Genesis, any role-playing game, perfectly fine with 2 people. Lots of fun. I know I had a lot of good experiences with this. So,
Yeah.
next we'll get to see how it is with 4 people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we'll kick out of this, and I'll be presenting before the start of that session a campaign prep for the Call of the Hunger, as well as a session 1 prep